Hi friends, Sandra here at Blossom and Inspire. Welcome to my crafty desk where we are going to try to make a journal cover in a way I've never made one before. So I have no idea what I'm doing. Story of my life. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and figure this out. I know what I want to accomplish. And let's see if I can do that. So I've got these wide laces that I want to choose one to use for the pocket for the inside. And originally I wanted to go with a cream. I still really kind of do, but I did get all my papers inked, so I'm not stuck with just cream. Well, I guess I'm never just really stuck, but here's a few that I thought could work. Now, I want to make a journal with this, and this measures approximately 12 by 12. Let's see. Approximately, you know, it almost fits in that square like that. You can go the longer way, but I personally, I liked this image. I get more of the image this way. So now folded in half, this cover's going to give us a, let's see, we are going to go here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about 6. I mean, it's about 6 this way. And it's just, I mean, honestly, just slightly under 12 tall. So like, what is there, like a 1/4 inch? And split in half is, I don't know what that is, but it's that. That's the measurement. So I decided that I did like the fabric that was for that bunny rabbit thing. And of course I wanted to save some for the bunny. So I thought, oh, I'm just going to cut. Well, I cut it too short. So ha ha ha, joke's on me, which is fine. I would have just wasted half of it anyways, being on the back side of it, because you wouldn't see it. So now what I'm trying to do is figure out how to get it. I want this to be what you see when you open up the journal. And then I don't mind it coming out of the sides, but I don't want to see like this seam. So I think what I did is I measured it. So I cut it and measured it. I folded it in, and I'm gonna go sew this down again so I know exactly what I can cut off. I think that's gonna be on the top, and that's gonna be on the bottom, like that, like a suit. Let me move this lace out of the way for a second. Let me move this piece out of the way. That's gonna come into play, I think. So then when it opens, this is how it'll open. I mean, this is how it'll close. I don't wanna see this, so I have to decide, like, can I fold that in a little bit more or not, or will I even need to? I don't really know, so it's gonna be a test. What I'm gonna do is whatever lace I use on the pocket, this is my secret fix. So whatever lace, so say I used this lace on the inside pocket, I'm just gonna take it and cut a piece of it off and attach it to the inside of that. So if all else fails and we do still see that, I can cover it up with another piece of material on a strip of material, and then I can lay a little bit of lace down to kind of camouflage that. So I feel like I've got plan B ready to go, and it'll work with whatever lace I have. So I also want it to be squishy. So I have this, it's already cut. I have my plastic cut to size, and I decided to fit it to this piece here. And normally I would sandwich this in my material where the signature is going to be sewed into. But since I love being on the struggle bus, I'm going to, I decided that might be a little difficult for me to figure out. So I think my best case is going to be cover this and then just attach it to this. And then this piece right here becomes the squishy. This becomes the squish. I think that'll still work. Now, what's going to happen is that this is going to be a very flimsy piece of fabric that I'm going to sew my signature into, right? So if I sew it into this, I might find that to be a little difficult because I don't have anything like super strong. There's a couple of things I can do. I feel like I can take maybe some file folder as an option. And I can even just lay a strip down and keep that as my center, or I can put a bigger piece on here. I mean, it won't be seen, so it'll be on the underside. Let me see if I have anything close by that could kind of give us an example. course I don't, because that would make life too easy. So, maybe I can use just this piece of paper that I was here. So we'll turn it this way. So say I had my paper in here, something like this. It would be maybe something like that, so that would be the underside. And if it's attached, it's going to be like file folder, so it's a little bit heavier duty. And then, so that when I fold it, I just get some substance. I just want some substance, so I would want this to be, it would probably go all the way just right underneath wherever all this is. I guess a better way to show it would be right kind of like that, but all the way. So I just have this little bit of a frame. Okay? Does that make sense so far? In my mind, it makes sense. So I don't know if I can bring it to fruition. So I'm gonna try. So the paper would be, the file folder would be on the inside of this. This is slightly larger than that, so I have to keep that in mind. And then I would sew it into this, like that, like so. So that when you open up the signature, it's like this. This is not gonna stick out that far. It's just very loosey-goosey. So that's where I'm at right now. So I don't want this to ever have an accidental like show through or anything. So I was thinking, now I've got that piece kind of put together somewhat. I was thinking about just using this fabric here, because I think it'll be camouflaged well enough, and maybe just go around this like I normally would for a signature, for a cover, and just glue this to this fabric, cut it down, sew it, so at least there's a seam or a stitch on that. I don't mind if this is, and then I don't mind if this is out a little bit more, if I still have that same ripped edge all the way around and it just comes slightly out of the cover. So we'll pretend that's in there. Okay, and then we'll pretend this is in here the way it's supposed to be, I think. Of course, I'll get rid of those little threads. I don't really want this to be the showcase though, even with that little thread. So it would be basically to the edge. I so desire, I think. And then this is gonna be like this. Okay, when it's sewed in. I think I'm making this way more difficult, but I really don't know what I'm doing. I know what I want to happen, I just don't know how to get there. So I think it's gonna be a little bit, it'll probably be a little wonky, and that's okay, right? That is okay. So when you open, nope, see, I'm making that other one the center stage again. This comes up above, hello. This one goes out a little bit. And this will be easier to put in because the signature is gonna be sewed to this. So then it would come out like that. So now my question is this. Is that the best way to do that? Or do I just simply lay a little piece of something down here? I can even do like a piece of parchment paper, something crinkly. Lay that down, glue this to the parchment paper. I don't really want to sew. I don't want to sew anything to this because I don't want the stitching on this. And then I can just glue that down. That's glued down now, right? And then I can take this piece right here and I can just add this, put the paper inside of it, something for structure. And then instead of, like normally you would put this, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I'm all over the board. Instead of putting this in between these two to sandwich them and sew this together, I would put that paper in between these two. And then that way, I think maybe I would have a little bit more control over where this fabric lies, because if I did it this way, then I could see. Then it would just lay in there like this, like this, like that, like that. The thing would be inside here, the file folder or something for substance, cardstock, whatever it is I'm going to use. And then this would be the still the inside. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's just give that a cut and see if that'll work. And we're just going to do some gluing, and this is going to be a lengthy little video. I'm gonna try to do I have an iPhone, so I don't have the pause option, and I know there's all these things you can try and use, but I'm gonna try and do just stopping the video and then restarting the video and joining the videos without losing any of the video. So I think for the most part, I've done a couple of those kind of things, and I feel a little confident. Tiny, ooh, look at my fingers are still stained from all the inky papers. I felt a little confident. Let's see, scissors underneath here somewhere, I'm sure. So let's see, and I just want it to be just slightly under that one, so I'm just gonna kind of wing it. And then tear it with all my might. Oh my gosh, my hands do not want to work. Okay, there, get rid of that big piece for a sec. Okay, I think this is it. Oh my gosh, I think, oh, I don't want to get overconfident on this. That's for sure. I literally had to take a break. I was like trying to measure this stuff, and I was like, okay, I know there's a way to do this, and I just need to step away. Just step away. I was getting ready to make some more cuts, and my inner voice was just like, step away from the fabric and the scissors. I could hear it. So I went and had lunch, moved the sprinklers, and watched a show, a little bit of a show. I've been watching on Netflix, The Travelers. Has anybody heard of that show? It's kind of weird, but I don't know. It's all weird, right? So I find it interesting. It's not a new show. I think there's only 3 seasons to it. So, but it's one that my husband, I had it on the saved list for a long time, and he never chose it. So I told him, I'm gonna watch it by myself if you don't do it. And then I'd already went halfway through season 1, and we were went to go watch our TV in the evening after dinner, and he put the Netflix on, and he was like, oh, and he puts that on. He starts to play it, and I was like, okay. I go pause for a second. I'm like, I don't care if you want to watch this. That's fine with me. I said, but I'm like halfway through it, so you probably will either need me to give you the recap on what's going on, like, or you might want to watch some of the shows. So he just looked at me funny and picked a different show. Okay, I like this. So I need to get cardstock now measured, or I think cardstock will be easier because it's already 12 by 12. So what do? Just pick out one that I don't care to lose, possibly. I think I'm going to do that in a minute, though. I want to just leave this the way it is for a sec. And instead of wasting all this fabric, I know that I can tuck this down. I'm going to iron these pieces down right there. And I'm going to trim these down because I want to use this, what's left of it, somewhere else. So now I have that. Oh my gosh, I struggled so much. All I needed was my friends. Okay, so that's gonna fold in half. I gotta make sure I'm folding it the right way though. That's my, yeah, yes, the tucked ones go on the top. So that would be that. And then this would be in half this way. So let's just open this up. And fold that over. Okay. I mean, it's just fabric that I got really cheap. It's just that it's really pretty and I like it. I don't want to wreck it. Okay. All right. Still not sold on the whole fabric sticking out. I thought I was going to like it, but I'm not 100% positive. I don't mind it so much at the top. I guess we'll just have to see. I mean, like I said, I can always lay lace inside of there, right? And you won't even see this side when you open up the book. You'll see. Oh, I did it backwards again. It's not going to go that way, Sandra. Jeez, okay. See, this is what I've been doing to myself all day long. Just, okay, let's see. Let's try it again. It doesn't fold that way. It folds this way. Right, there we go. Sorry, I didn't hear whoever was telling me I did it backwards again. As long as I don't sew it, as long as I don't glue and sew backwards, I'm fine. So now, this may happen where I'm seeing all these different layers, which I really am okay with that. Especially if this is the best I can do, I'm really okay with it. But honestly, it doesn't look bad. And again, if I really don't like it, say I chose the cream colored lace, I can just take the lace, and trust me, I won't waste all this lace. I'll just cut off I'll glue down what I need. Probably is the way I do it first, so I don't gyp myself on it. And then I would just cut off what I'm not using, and then that piece would hang out, which is fine. Would it go that much or that much? You know, it's just, I probably wouldn't have it coming out too much, but kind of like that. So this is the lace I chose, that one to choose from. This one right here, which is also quite lovely. I like them all. I mean, I feel like that pulls in some of these pinks. So I'm gonna go and do that in just a second, but I did finish the painty papers and I haven't cut them yet because I'm waiting until I have this figured out so that I know what size to do my papers. So these are the papers. This is the front side of the that's already got the print on it, like inked it up. There's the back, and I know some of these are very busy, but or maybe all of them are. There's the front and the back. There's the front and then the back. But I think it'll be okay. Front and back. It's gonna have to be because I've already done it. Front and back. I spent a lot of time on it, and I really do like them. Front and back. Front and back. Front and back. And I ended up using every one of the pages that I pulled out, which was 10. Front and back. So I like all these colors. I think they all look pretty with this. I think they're all gonna look nice, don't you think? All right, so I will be back. Okay, well, I have changed gears again. I went back and forth on putting the squishy in there. I really feel like it needs a squish. The papers are very, they're like their cardstock. I mean, it's a lighter weight, but still it's very like, you know, I just feel like it needs some squish. It's got the softness of the cover. It needs some squish. I'm struggling, struggle, but I think what I'm gonna do, and I know it's gonna be a lot, but this fabric is thin. It's gonna be like bulky. Worst case scenario, nobody wants this journal. I mean, what have I got to lose? I'm learning. So I thought I'm gonna go ahead. This is really thin. I don't want the glue to seep through all this stuff, and I've never worked with stuff like this, and it's got wears on it. So I'm going to just glue my squish into here, to these two pieces here. I'm just gonna glue them down. I'm having what I'm having a struggle with at the moment is that nothing is accurately square. Nothing is measuring up square, and I'm trying to make them fit together. That's impossible. So I'm gonna stop. I got these two pieces of material cut, and I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. I'm going to glue these pieces down to each other and then just let it dry. So what I want to do is I've already I've measured my material as best I can with the tearing method of cutting so that it fits at least to the perimeter of this. I don't care if it goes out a little bit. I don't want it out too much. Everything can be fixed with lace as long as I get it in there before I glue everything edge to edge on the cover. You know, lace hides a multitude of things, like our inking on the pages. You know, that's what the lace is for other things, right? For the cover. It's like the inking on the edges. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and get that down there, and I'm just going to hope for the best. Please hope along with me. Hope, hope, hope. So, okay, come on. Come on, glue. And I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna sew, I might sew this, so I'm not gonna go all the way to the edges, I think. So the biggest thing was when I folded this, I just didn't want the squish to be seen. if I didn't sew it. So just in case I don't do any sewing and I only do gluing, I don't want the squish to poke out. Once the cover is folded in half, I don't want you to see the squish. So here we go. We'll just do that for now. And I'm just gonna lay it down this way, and it may seep through into my mat, so whatever. At this point, I just don't care. I just wanna get it down. I think I'm kind of struggling also because I keep looking at my messages. My husband is supposed to be letting me know when he needs me to come help on a job site. So, all right, so let's just see. And now neither one of these fabrics are going to be the show on the front or on the inside cover. Anyhow, it's just this is basically just my peace of mind to have something on the back of that other piece. Yes, that's all it is. All it is. I could always go around the edges after I get it on there and cut, but I'm not the world's greatest at that, so I'm hoping to avoid that if I can, although so you can see how crooked that is. Darn, but whatever. We'll see. We'll see. I do have one of those little rollerblade thingy-majiggies. Believe it or not, I'm not very good at cutting with that either. But I guess practice makes perfect. Practice makes better. That's what I should say. I don't think there's really any perfect. Practice makes better. Okay, so now I just want to get this on here also. Just covering the whole thing like that. Whatever, right? Okay. Well, so far this is better than my practice attempts without you. So apparently you are my good luck charms. Thank you. Okay, you're so charming. Oh my gosh, come on. A little fussy, we don't want the fussies. Okay. Now, and then I said before that I wasn't gonna sew into the cover of this cover, but that might have to change. Like, I seriously just do not know. So, I mean, that's not the worst inside cover if I did leave it that way, is it? No. See, okay, so that's what I was hoping was gonna happen, so that's great. I didn't want to sew the edges yet because I might drop some lace in there, or I might drop some lace right here. I don't know. I don't even know if I need it, but if I do, I have those options still open and available to me. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm literally breaking out in a sweat. No, maybe it's this lamp that's on. I have this super bright lamp so I can see. So this I still have. I did trim the two sides down. These seams were the original ones there, and I just took off the back piece, which, because it was like a double layer for that table runner, so I unstitched this piece from it, and maybe I should have just left it, but I really liked that fabric. Okay. That was the true struggle, right? What I don't want to let go of. Oh my gosh. Okay, so then this is what I want to be of the inside cover, and then when it folds over. So that's why I'm thinking that maybe I should just sew this all together, because at least I know where it will lay, but I feel like that might just work just the way I want it. And the other reason I wanted this fabric to come out a little bit more is to cover like this little piece right here. So is it, like, how bad is it if this much fabric shows on the back end and that much shows there? And that's not great, is it? So just, I guess I would just have to be more careful on where when I lay it down. So now, do I just go ahead and glue this down so that it's in there and I don't have to worry about this, and then figure out how to sew this evenly with my signature? Or should I just go ahead and just lay it all out, since I know how to do that, and then just sew the signature straight into this, which means it's going to go right through here, but it's not the worst case scenario. If I sew it backwards, well, no, if I sew it right, nothing's going to come out this way anyways. It's just going to be a stitch. Okay, I think I think that is probably the direction I'm going to go. So I need to get the pages cut, and I'm not going to be able to do that until I figure this out. So if this is how big the cover, if this is how big it is, if I had that in there, I would know, because I would just fold this in half just like this, just like so. Okay. So I think that's it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sew it in. And can you hear that? Like, and it just needs, I feel like it just needs that squish, because this, I feel like it's soft with the squish, but without the squish, it feels dense. It's just a little too dense because of these papers. All right, well, I am going to now figure out where are these papers, what the size is. So let's see. This journal is going to be, I'm going to measure from within, I think, this edge right here. And that is, whoops, let me get on my grid here. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1/4. So it's like, it's just barely, it's not even quite, but it's going to be like 6 1/4. So 5 1/2 and 5 1/2 is 11. So I'd have to cut these down by 11. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get my papers cut now. I think I might be done struggling for a moment. And this is probably one of the weirdest videos I've posted, but it is a struggle sometimes, and that's a real thing. And I don't mind sharing my struggle. I don't know how many people really want to watch me struggle like that. It's very frustrating. Like, pins and needles. Anyways, this is the pocket I decided to go with. I thought, it's kind of deep. It's 5 inches, but it's tall. Like, this is like 12 inches tall. Just a little, I mean, with the cover a little over. The pages are, I cut everything down 11 by 11. So the journal itself is 11 inches tall. So I feel like a 5-inch pocket is not too bad, or not too deep. And I want to do this vintage pink on here. And I know I am layering a ton of different fabrics and stuff, but I think it's going to work out. I feel very confident. I like it. And I have not attached this to this yet. I'm waiting because I still need to make sure I know what kind of closure I want. How am I going to do that? Because at one point I thought I would put an eyelet here, but I don't think that's going to be what I'm going to do. I think I might even actually, I might end up either just, depending on how full I start deciding what I'm going to put on here. I thought about putting a tie on here, attaching it here, and then pulling that together. But I don't know that I'm going to love that. I think it's going to be a tie at this point. I think it's going to be something that I just wrap around, because I'm not going to punch through this. I'm afraid that I'm going to fray this. I don't know how this fabric works, or this piece, this, what I'm calling the tapestry journal. So this will be the first layer that goes down. This is going to go on top because I want this to be the inside, the front part of the inside cover. And then this will be the pocket. Okay, so there's that, and then when it's closed, it'll look like that. Here are the papers. So I've cut them all down 11 by 11, and I've put a piece of copy paper, it is copy paper actually, but it's coffee dyed. So I put a piece in between each one, and because they are normally 8.5 by 11, I didn't have to cut anything. I just folded them long ways. So this is the layout that I have. And it's very colorful, I will say. I mean, it is very colorful. So I thought about maybe toning it down, and then it's like, no, I like it. I like it. So I got them all laid out. I'm gonna go, I didn't crease these very well, so these copy dye ones. So I still need to do that. See, I just kind of folded them over really quick. I just wanted to haphazardly to see, but they will definitely get a better fold. And I just used my, what I call my neutral copy dye. And anybody that's new, what I mean when I say neutral copy dye is that I don't do a lot of different swirls or, you know, like, I'm making noises, you know, lots of splotches. I don't do that. I just do this technique where I just kind of like run it through. So it's just really, I love it. I think it's very calming. And I think that this works the best because I have so much going on. The papers, when I did all the inking, I stayed with this with certain inks, so I kept my colors all consistent throughout the pages. And then, and the stamps that I use, I just pulled out certain stamps and I used those ones throughout, and I feel like that kind of helped keep this, you know, like a unit. So there's, and these are all the scrapbooking papers. I folded them so that the image that came with the pad, I think I have that one upside down. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, unless there's like words, which I think, again, doesn't really matter. This side was white, and this is, so I started off just painting this side, but then, of course, the paint carried over to the other side because I couldn't stop myself because I was having so much fun. So this will be the layout of the journal, and I really like it. So even some of the pages that I got extra grungy and inky and vibrant, I was a little bit nervous about that, but I think I like it. I did incorporate some of the green because it needed a lighter color and something that would just play well with everything else. So I put that on a couple of the pages, and I think it really helped tie the blue in. Since blue and yellow make green, I mean, I figured it all went, right? So there we go. This is the journal layout. I'm really liking it. This is one of the pages. If it might be the only one that I didn't go heavy on this side with the ink. Is it the only one? Nope, I think this one too. So I did a couple of them where I left it a little bit lighter. And keep on going. This is our layout. And then this is the middle of the signature. I do not know if I'm going to do anything in the middle different at this moment in time, because altogether with the 10 pieces of cardstock and then I have 9 pieces of coffee dye paper, that's pretty heavy or bulky, and it lays down nice, but I haven't put anything in it. Check out all these cool strips. So I think these are going to be fun to play with. I can use these to make like little cluster pieces on the sides for, like, I was thinking maybe going thinner and not bulky, not heavy duty ephemera and not really bulky. So if I stayed thin, so like on the front pockets, there's going to be a nice journal card in there, of course, but I can put like little side pieces on, you know, I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet. I feel like that just kind of blends right in, doesn't it? Because it'd have to go over here like this. Wouldn't that be cute too? So, you know, we can put a belly band on every coffee dye page. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. Anyhow, there I am. I've calmed down. I feel a lot better. I do have this piece right here, and once I get all this in, if I feel like I need a little bit of this on the edges, then I will do that. I don't know. I think at this point in time, it feels like I feel pretty good that I'm not going to have to add any to the edges unless I want to for the look. So I'm going to wrap this part of the video up because I'm exhausted from trying to figure this out. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know there's much easier ways, but I have to learn with hands-on, and unfortunately my hands are the only ones here. So thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys more than you know. I really enjoying all the I really do enjoy all the time we spend together. I will see you on the next video, my friends. Enjoy all your moments. Bye.